mom is an internal medicine doctor. My aunt is a family medicine doctor. So I grew up literally in the clinic. So whenever I would get off of elementary school, my granddad would pick me up, drive me to my mom's office because she would still be working. And I would be in her office kind of hanging out in the medical setting, kind of seeing what medicine was, meeting some of her patients every once in a while, and meeting some of the other doctors. When I went to undergrad, I actually knew that I wanted to be an anesthesiologist from there. So I had a lot of early exposure to anesthesiology because luckily my high school, the local hospital, offered us a little internship for the summer, my sophomore year. And so that was my first introduction to surgery. I got to meet the anesthesiologists, the surgeons, the internal medicine doctors that worked in the hospital. And from there, I sort of learned more about anesthesiology and fell in love with it immediately. I decided to come to MCG because it's one of the biggest medical systems in all of Georgia. And so I knew that coming here, I would have just a large network I'd be able to depend on as I moved throughout the rest of my career. And a great thing about MCG that I realized too, they have a lot of opportunities that not all med schools offer. So for instance, they have anesthesiology externship, which is actually very unique to our institution in that it starts in your first year of med school, it's paid, and it's longitudinal. So that making it unique was one thing that really attracted me to Medical College of Georgia. Another example of how MCG was just very attractive is the dual degree opportunity. So with me being able to get an MD, MBA, and graduate with both of those at the same time, I knew from the onset that would be perfect for all the objectives that I want to achieve throughout the course of my career. So I have a lot of plans with the MBA. So first plan is whenever I get into practice, either using those skills to attribute to a group practice or a private practice, give me a lot of groundwork in how to run the business aspect of those practices, and using the leadership skills that you get out of getting an MBA. You're in that unique role where you're interacting with a lot of different personalities, a lot of different medical professionals. So it's nice to be able to have that background and go into administrative aspects of medicine as well and bring in some of that perspective, especially with it being in the perioperative space where that's such a huge driver of income for the medical systems. It's nice to be able to have that background on the ground floor to be able to say, hey, this what works well, this what doesn't work well, and being able to bring that sort of insight to the table when you're having those discussions when you're in the C-suite. So that's sort of what I thought with the MBA. I can kind of combine the best of all worlds and sort of make myself a more well-rounded individual. It's been great in terms of the quality of the education, whether it's been on the MD side and the MBA side. Really, they've really worked well together in terms of understanding sort of the unique requirements we have in terms of being MDs and what that requires of us. So for instance, when it came to having away rotations, the business school worked very well with us, making sure that, hey, you're meeting all the milestones that you need to hit for your medical degree, as well as meeting all the milestones that you need to hit for your MBA requirements. So the flexibility was just impeccable. So I like to make music, I like to paint, I like to golf. And back in undergrad, I used to play a lot of flag football, but not as much anymore. I like to make a little R&B. I try to sing, but I'm no John Legend, no Alicia Keys. But I like to try my hand at it just to have some fun.